Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Diary of a Black Entrepreneur. I am your entrepreneur, Mary Elizabeth Taylor Jr., and let's get into this episode. So, this episode, you're going to notice there's not going to be too many transitions. My goal is to execute start to finish in one take. So, fingers crossed, or I should say that. So, this episode is going to be about my art journey. So, what I've kind of been doing as far as just creativity wise, outside of my entrepreneurial stuff and outside of my fashion stuff. So, last month, a friend of my sister's and I decided to come up with an event to celebrate her birthday that involved just healing conversations, girl power, growth, all of these different things that I felt like were not only needed, but were something that we could do to sort of look forward to as far as just an outcome for what we want for the rest of this year, right? So we came up with just doing vision boards, it's going to be like pajama themed. And also, I decided to throw in an activity that I saw on social media. It was a let it go challenge, or that's what I called it, but it was called a release challenge, or not necessarily a challenge, but more of an activity. What it entails is you write down all of the things that you simply want to let go on a balloon filled with helium. That way, once you write down all the things, you can release it to let it go. So you write down things like bad habits, bad experiences, things that you don't want to keep repeating in your life. Whatever that looks like for you, you write that on the balloon and then you release it. This was an activity that I intended for the end of the evening, and it ended up being the first activity of the day, which I felt like because it happened in that order, it was a lot more healing for us. The only way that it works and what I found is that if we're the most true to ourselves as possible, so really not holding anything back. There were a lot of tears, there was some shouting, and there was lots of hugs and making up and everything. So definitely needed. It's definitely something I would recommend to any and everyone. You can do it with friends, you can do it with family. But it's such a healing activity that I'm like, wow, I wasn't expecting it to have this kind of turnout, but super well worth it. Following that activity, we did vision boards, just a small vision board. So this is the one that I did. So we just did these small little vision boards. So what mine sort of entailed was just kind of touching more into on or touching more on that soft life that I've been trying to achieve because I feel like I've just been such an independent woman doing everything that I'm like, no, I want to start kind of softening this year, um, and just kind of leaning more into that. So, doing more gardening, which is what all the plants and everything entails, doing more traveling as always because we love to see sights and get immersed in new culture, new experiences, right? And then just some goals down here, which the first one I'm in the process of achieving, which if you haven't noticed, today's Wednesday that I'm doing this video. So we kind of fell a little bit behind because we were doing a little bit of studying, which is part of that first goal on here. But no worries because the objective is to still get things pushed out, right? Even if the timeline kind of, switches up on us, which will sometimes happen in life, especially when you get busy. So the best thing that you can do is to stay peaceful about it. Give yourself some grace because things are going to happen the more you want to achieve. So other things are going to sometimes come in between that. But the important thing is to make sure that you get yourself back on track and not make excuses for why you can't get back on track sooner. And then just just remembering that you are enough is the biggest one. Oh my gosh, I think I lost the butterfly. I'll glue it back on later. But it's just remembering that you're enough. Back to that giving yourself grace portion. I want to give myself grace on this little topsy turvy I just did with the vision board. But that was what I've been doing as far as my artist journey. And yeah, so my next video, like I said, so we come in next quarter. I'm gonna have that release date in the description for when that next video is gonna come out. So that one is gonna be picking up back into the fashion portion of the episodes. So there is a fashion show that's going to be happening at the end of next month, which I would like to go to, but we'll see. Either way, I decided I want to make an outfit for it, or just in general. So I'm going to be getting back into that. So getting back under the sewing machine, which is something that I really love. It's going to be a little bit tougher now that I have all this studying and stuff to do, but I'm going to make it work as I have made other things work in the past. So the goal is to definitely do that. But that's going to be next episode. But I want to say I appreciate you guys for tuning in for this one. Always appreciated those of you who have been with me, who are new, and who have kind of carried on with me throughout the years. I appreciate you. But until next time, folks, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.